My name is Maher Abyad, and I'm a Nolimitspreneur.
You're now locked onto another episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast, the show that helps you dominate in life and in business to enhance your mindset, confidence, productivity, time management, habits, and goals. And now, your host, Maher Abyad.
Hey, welcome back to another Nolimitspreneur Podcast episode. I'm your host, Maher Abyad. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm really excited to share with you some more amazing pure value content on some mindset training today, and that's going to definitely be able to help you achieve things you probably didn't think you would be able to achieve and have a mindset shift to actually how success really works, because I titled this one, Success Will Not Be Easy If You Think This Way. And there was a real big mindset shift for me over the years when I was running my digital marketing agency back in the day, and I was always looking for new business opportunities, new things to try. I would jump into sort of every shiny object that there was over the years, trying to use my marketing skills to help me enhance my business or get me ahead, grow my revenue, whatnot. And a lot of times things didn't work, and I really wasn't sure why they would work, why they weren't working. And at the time I said, you know what, it's probably me, or I'm doing something wrong or whatnot. But it wasn't really the physical things I was doing wrong. It was sort of the mental starting point that I was at that was not allowing me to get to where I wanted to go. So for example, I would be trying in the make money niche. For example, you had Shopify, drop shipping, a number of these sort of marketing avenues or business ventures that you can try. And you would go in there and try things out, and things wouldn't work. And within a little while, I would give up and think that it's just not working, and I have to move on to the next thing. And that just wasn't where I needed to be. But at the end of the day, when I really look back, and this is something I think you'll really be able to connect with, that we obviously always are looking for that quick win. And we're thinking in life that there's a lot of quick wins, when in actual fact, if you look at whoever's successful in whatever avenue or whatever thing that they're doing, there's an underlying amount of massive efforts that most people don't see. And what I wanted to share today in today's podcast episode is that success really isn't hard. But in order to achieve that success, your viewpoint really has to change. Because what's happening is you're going in and you're thinking that, and this was my mistake, I'd be trying new things and I'd be like, oh, this is going to be easy because this person told me it was going to be easy. And I wouldn't be going in and things wouldn't be working. And I'm like, well, I don't know why it's not working. I'm doing the same thing. But at the end of the day, success, what we see from others, we only get that very specific moment in time that we're looking at them, whether it's successful basketball player, professional singer, actor, whatever it is. You are only seeing a glimpse in time. You're seeing that one event where you're seeing them successful now. But what we're not realizing is there's been a ton of failures and struggles. And the problem and the point that I wanted to get across in today's podcast episode is, in today's society right now, we're sold the pill. Everything can be solved, and you can have instant weight loss with a pill. You can have instant money with a pill. You can have instant everything with a pill. Everything is being portrayed to us, and the success is just magically going to happen if we do this one quick thing. And one thing that I really want to promote going forward in my own training, in my podcast, in my YouTube channel, on my blog, in my training programs, in my courses, is that success is not difficult, but there's no magic pill. And that's why I really wanted to create this podcast today, because we're really being sold that everything can be solved with a quick win. Just taking a magic pill and all of a sudden we're going to be millionaires, or we're going to, look a certain way or feel a certain way. And it's all about, at the end of the day, the hard work that you put into it. Everything that's worth having and worth achieving doesn't come overnight. The pyramids were not built overnight. And everybody wants to achieve that greatness right now. But unfortunately, they're not willing to put in the work to get there. And that's the problem. And that's why you may not be achieving that type of success that you want. Because you're being sold, and society's kind of framed everything now that everything can be done quickly. And you have that mindset now. And here's where the problem is. When you're going into something and you have that mindset of, oh, it's going to be quick and easy and I don't have to put much work and I can be lazy and I can, make money, from my couch, it really doesn't work that way. Or I can, get healthier by just continuing to eat the junk food that I'm eating. As long as I take this magic pill, that's not how it works. And this is really what's so important that I really want to share with everyone today is success itself is not difficult, but the underlying thing that will allow you to achieve that success is massive effort, hard work, and one thing I'm going to be talking about today is consistency. And the mindset that you have going into something, so the thoughts that you have going into something are going to create your actions. And those actions are going to yield your results. So what I mean by that is when you're going into something and you think it's going to be easy, you're obviously not going to be putting a lot of hard work or effort into it. And then guess what happens? You don't get these results that you were promised, and then you wonder why you didn't get the results. And it's because, unfortunately, like I said, we've been pre-framed to thinking that everything can be solved quickly and you don't have to work hard. And there's that quick satisfaction that you can get when at the end of the day, if you look at really anybody who has achieved really great success in this world, no matter what it is, they have put so many hours into it. They have struggled. They have really tried to perfect their craft. And I really need you to change the way you go into something. When you go into it with the mindset that it's going to be quick and easy, you are not going to have that conviction behind you to really put a lot of effort into it. And the output that you get is going to be what you're putting into it, that input. So if you're putting lackluster input, guess what's going to happen on the other side? You're going to get really lackluster results. And if we can change our mindset, change our thought patterns to say, you know what? This is not going to be easy. This is going to be long. It might take months. It might take years to achieve whatever it is I'm trying to achieve. But I know I can do it. I know I can achieve it. And I'm going to continue to work hard because I know it's going to be worth it at the end. Once there's that mindset shift and that different sort of framing angle, that you're looking at something from a different vantage point, then you're going to be putting in different types of effort. I'll give you an example. Like, say for example, you look at a hockey team. When a stronger team, for example, I'm just going to use this as an example. If you look at a stronger hockey team, they're up against a weaker team. For them right away, their thought patterns in their mind is, we don't have to work as hard. We don't have to put as much effort because, we're already, quote unquote, more superior to this weaker team, and we don't have to do much effort to beat them. So we don't have to work as hard. And all of a sudden, they start playing and they find out that, the other team is a little bit of a challenge. And they're not doing as well as they thought they were. Because if you look at it from the other point of view, the quote-unquote weaker team, they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So their back is already against the wall, so they're going to go in guns blazing and put up a fight because they have nothing to lose at the end of the day. And that's where it takes the stronger team by surprise, and then they end up sometimes being beaten. Because it's the way you go into something, your thoughts going into something. So exactly like what I just said, if you're going into something thinking it's going to be a cakewalk and it's not, then you're going to be, number one, very disappointed. You're going to be obviously hit from the side. You're going to be confused. You're going to be demotivated to continue. There's going to be a lot of negative emotions that come with that. So the whole point of this podcast today is to get you thinking that everything that's worth having takes time. When you go to a drive-thru and you order fast food, the quality of that food is representative of the amount of time that was put into it. I think we can all agree. But then you go to a restaurant and you have to wait 30, 40 minutes for a steak and baked potatoes and well done and everything's beautifully cooked and whatnot, and everything tastes great. That's the difference there, is the more effort, the more time, the more you struggle for something, the more beautiful it comes out at the other side, the more rewards you get from that. So I wanted to definitely share this with you today because it was something that I struggled with. I really went into a lot of things thinking it was going to be a walk in the park, and I got beat up so many times because of it, and I failed so many times because of it, because my mindset was just completely off. And I don't want the same for you, because success is there. Success is achievable, okay? You want something, it's there, but you got to work hard for it. You got to know that it's going to take months, it's going to take years. It's going to take a lot of work that you're not going to see results right away. When you go to the gym, when you're starting out, it's coming up to New Year's right now that I'm actually recording this podcast. It'll probably go live after the New Year. But when you have that mentality of everything can be solved with a pill, you're going to be disappointed in life. And we really need to change that way of thinking, because I don't want you to make and have the same struggles that I had in the last, decade, because I thought seeing, some training programs or whatnot, that everything was going to be easy if I just followed ABC steps, and I gave up too soon, because I literally gave up too soon because I was, I had that mentality going into it that I was going to get instant success. I was starting a new e-commerce business, and I worked so hard on it. I worked for months on it and stuff to get a website ready and everything like that. And when the doors opened and there was nobody there, no sales were coming in, nothing was happening, I almost literally threw in the towel. because I didn't give myself the amount of time to not see the results and continue forward. Another example is you can think of when you're starting the gym. When you're starting the gym, you're going to be working out for a long time before you really physically see any results. And that's why a lot of people may give up for their New Year's resolutions, because they're not getting that instant gratification. And that's the other thing that I really want to discuss is we're in a society right now where everything is instant. Like I said, the fast food, you send somebody a message. When was the last time you sent somebody a message and they didn't reply back within maybe 10, 20 minutes, and you start getting frustrated. Like, why is this person not writing back? We expect things so quickly. We've lost our ability to have patience for anything. And if you're trying to start a business and you're seeing these people try to sell you some training to say, you know what, you're going to get instant results, that's just hogwash. Because if you're willing to start a business that's going to better your life, you're not going to get results within a few weeks or even maybe in a few months. The thing about, for example, entrepreneurship is when you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to go out there and create value. But as you're creating that value, whether you're creating a course, whether you're creating, a YouTube channel, where you're creating a book, when you're creating a product, while you're creating a service, there's going to be a period where you're not getting paid for that time. And that's really important that you keep going to your finished product, because that's when you can allow yourself to put it to market. But for us right now, we want to see those instant results, that we're not giving ourselves enough time for things to play out. And that's quite unfortunate. And I've definitely made those mistakes before. I spent so much time on an e-commerce site, and I just threw in the towel literally right away because I wasn't getting the results that I pre-framed my mind to get. And if I spent more months just focusing on that one thing, just to trying to, build up the business and whatnot, I know I would have seen results. But I gave up too early, and I don't want you to give up too early. Right now, as I said, it's close to New Year's, and this is where you get this mad rush of people with their New Year's resolutions. But by February, by March, man, everybody has kind of gone back to their baseline. You're not going to achieve that success unless you change yourself. And what I mean you have to change your thought patterns. You have to change your beliefs, because those are going to create the actions. And those actions are going to get you to that result that you want to get. Let's say, for example, you want to lose 30 pounds. It's going to take a while to get there. But you have to know that you have to be in the gym for an hour a day minimum. You have to sweat. You have to eat right. You have to really, make sure you're doing the right things. And they're all, nothing complicated. Just eating healthy, making sure you kind of are consistent with your training. And time will allow you to get there. And I'm so guilty of wanting that instant gratification. And social media, for example, has kind of created that sort of instant gratification. And, I've had so many times where a YouTube video took too long to load, for example, and, I clicked away off of it just because it took more than 6-7 seconds to load or whatnot. I've been guilty of it myself, and I know a lot of other people. Our physiological has changed, that we're just so impatient these days. And like I said, for anything good and worth it, you have to have the patience, and you have to have the consistency. I need you to go into things thinking that they're a marathon, not a sprint. like I said, with this weight loss thing, you have to go in there thinking of it as a marathon. You have to pace yourself out, and you have to ensure that you're committed, that you know your why, and you can relate this to anything. Improving your relationship, like I said, with this health example, with starting a business, learning to play the piano, bettering yourself, playing soccer. You have to be consistent at it. Consistency is one of the greatest pillars of success. If there's one thing that you can take out of today's podcast, it's consistency. You need to be consistent. You need to practice every single day. I'll use sports as an example here. Any sports athlete who's in the NHL, NBA, NFL, let's say, they didn't get there magically teleported to that state that you see them as a champion. They struggled for years. They worked at it for years. You can think of success as an iceberg. You see the top 20% is what you see of successful people. And the 80% is what you don't see under the water. And that's all the waking up at 6, 7 a.m. to go to the gym, to go to the basketball courts, to go read a script, to go practice in the recording studio, to jump out on the soccer pitch when it's raining and cold in the morning. You don't see a lot of that. You see that 20%, and we think we can just get from where we are now to that stage by taking a pill or just thinking our way there. You need to take the action, and you need to be consistent with that action. And it's going to take time. That's why you have to look at life now as a marathon, not a sprint. And that's going to really help allowing you to achieve success a lot easier and more, because the way you're going into it now is when you're doing something and you're not seeing the results right away, you know what? It might not happen today, but it might happen tomorrow, or it's going to happen the next day. But I know that I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep practicing, and I'm eventually going to get there. The key is to show up, guys. The key is to show up. You need to show up every single day. You need to give yourself the opportunity to have success find you as well. Because if you quit too soon, you don't put in the effort, if you don't have that conviction, if you're not hungry, if you're not back up against the wall, you're going to get lackluster results, and your life is going to stay the same. Your business is going to stay the same. And you're going to get to 75 and you're going to look back and you're going to have some massive regrets. You can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Takeaway from this podcast, you need to be consistent. You need to have patience. You need to be focused, like mad focused. And that's what's going to get you there. There's no magic pill. There's no magic pill. Stop believing it. Stop thinking about it. Stop imagining that it's going to get you from A to B instantly. There's no magic pill in this world. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time. But once you get to that peak and you look back down at all the climbing you had to do, it's going to be so worth it. It's going to be so worth it. And it's going to feel so good. And that's where the payoff happens. And then you know what you do next? You look at the next highest mountain and you keep going. Because as a human, it's all about continual growth. You're always striving for growth. Me, I'm always improving myself every day. My education doesn't stop. My personal development doesn't stop. My training doesn't stop. I'm pushing myself every single day to better myself. So I can better my family, so I can better my community, so I can better the people around me, so I can change lives and help as many people as I can. And I want you to do the same as well. And when you start seeing those small wins, then you start telling yourself, I can do this. What else can I do? Give me something more complicated. Give me something bigger. I can tackle it. And that's where you get the momentum, and that's where you start seeing the real massive success. And other people are going to see your success. And other people are going to ask you, what are you doing? And you're going to be like, well, I'm consistent. I'm hungry. I'm focused. I'm patient. I'm working my ass off. That's it. There's no magic formula. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. And it's going to feel so good when you get there. So I really wanted to share this information with you today because it was really, really important, because with the training that I'm doing right now for everybody, I don't want you to go into whatever you're doing with your mindset training, with your personal development, thinking that, okay, well, I'm just going to listen to a podcast or, watch a YouTube video and my life's going to change. There's going to be a lot of change that happens slowly. And oftentimes you're not going to see the results right away. But I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to ever give up on yourself, because you are worth it. And I don't want you to have any of these self-limiting beliefs that hold so many people back. So I hope you got some value out of today's podcast. My name is Maher Abyad, and you've been listening to another amazing episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please leave a review. And I look forward to seeing you in the next podcast.
You've been listening to another quality episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast with your host, Maher Abyad. Want to continue to master your mindset? Download the 7 self-limiting beliefs that are stealing your success away guide for free right now at NoLimitsMindset.com.